that number, 2.6 million have died, while 68.1 million have recovered from the disease. With the presence of new variants here in the Philippines, local health authorities must conduct constant active surveillance and enforce interventions at a village and even at a household level. Dr. Beverly Ho of the Philippine Health Department's Disease Prevention and Control Bureau says delays in testing, isolation, and contact tracing must be reduced.
First of all, I think we need to understand that this entire response to the pandemic is a pendulum, no? So it's not a one-way direction wherein you win round one and then that's it, no? So it is several rounds with the virus, especially now with the variants. So our strategy also needs to tighten up and also needs to be more consistently applied.
The Octa Research Group now warning new COVID-19 cases may reach 10 to 11,000 daily by the end of this month. That's up from the previous prediction of 8 to 9,000 daily new infections. The group notes most areas in the National Capital Region are showing an increase in cases, threatening the occupancy rate of hospitals. It attributes the rise in cases to increased mobility, decreased compliance with health protocols, and the presence of new variants. This is why the group is urging the public to do their part and, if possible, implement a so-called personal EC.
Unique a person's needs. Those who can contribute by staying at home for a while, please do so. We are requesting people to do this. It's also for your personal because and your safety, because right now we don't know how much of the virus is spreading. I mean, there is a lot of the virus spreading right now in communities outside, and you don't know when you might get infected. You know, just sometimes you just take off your mask for just a few minutes and can get already infected, and that's why having this kanya-kanyang quarantine would help us, reduce mobility. We could refrain from going to, leisure activities.
Cathay Pacific temporarily bans flights from Manila. This after 5 passengers on its March 13th flight from the Philippines tested positive for COVID-19 upon arrival in Hong Kong. The ban will be in effect until March 28th. Passenger flights from Hong Kong to Manila, however, are not affected. Now, this morning, we're going to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on mobility and the future of electrifying mass transport here in the Philippines with Global Electric Transport, or GET's Freddie Tina. Hi, Freddie. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Michelle. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for joining us. So, Freddie, you've got 12 electric buses deployed in Metro Manila and Davao. You're expecting 10 more next month from Metro Manila. How's transport been over the last 12 months? And how do you imagine it moving forward, given renewed restrictions and the spike in COVID-19 cases?
Well, transport has been horribly hit, obviously, by the pandemic. And I think responsible transport is one solution. You really can't have people going willy-nilly around, just anywhere. So we're coming in this space, and we've been at this for a while with a couple of objectives. One is to make transport green, zero emission, so which is where the world is headed anyway. And
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all traders all around the globe. Andito na po ulit tayo sa ating program. We'll try to make it a semi-formal. Medyo nahihirapan na uli ako mag-Tagalog since I've been here in Cebu around 2003, if I remember it correctly. And to all of those who don't know me, I was born and raised in Bataan. It's a province in Luzon. I spent my high school and college there, and then after I graduated on year 2000, the family decided to move or had a vacation in Leyte or Moc specifically. But I was hoping to get a job instead of vacation during that time, and ang isang nakikita kong way to have a job is to teach what I think that's the basic that I can think of during that time. And right up that moment, yung kapatid ko nag-aaral din siya sa STI or MOOC, and told me that they are hiring. So yep, I applied, and to make it short, I was hired as one of their IT instructor in STI or MOOC in 2000, and been in the company or the academy at around almost 4 years. And then nagkaroon ako ng work sa isang smelting company sa Leyte din, which is Isabel. If you are familiar with Pasar, they are a copper smelting company, and I spent, I think, 3 months working for an application in their training room. And then pagkatapos nun, I decided to move or try my luck here in Cebu, looking for programming job, because uh, at the end of the day, during that time, my plan is to get into a company wherein my talent in programming would be in use, and also the inspiration that the high paying IT is one of the high paying jobs in Cebu. So it was not an easy journey during that time. I've been in Tambay for around almost 4 months. I got a very good friend in Talamban, one of my co-workers then sa pagtuturo dati sa STI, and um, they let me stay dun sa bahay nila, and in God's grace, I almost give up thanks to to Ibeb, the wife of Noel. He she keeps on inspiring me and pushing me to still pray and apply. And Senor Santo Niño will definitely hear my voice and my prayer. And yeah, after a few months and of trying my luck and visiting Senor Santo Niño de Cebu in Basilica, I was hired as a QA, not actually a programmer. It's my first work dito sa Cebu, but a quality assurance. So yeah, so we will try to practice again my Tagalog. So the reason why I would like to use it, because I was thinking if I will make or I will use Bisaya, which is my local dialect here. Medyo konti lang din, or ang maaabot ng broadcast natin in the future. And if I'm going to use Cebuano, then how about the Kapampangans? How about the Bicolanos? How about the other dialect that we have all over the country? Remember, my goal for this knowledge channel is to encourage every Filipino to take part in the market by starting in the local market and climbing up or exposing themselves into the global market. But in order to do that, I am trying to make it more informal, because yeah, I think if I will use Tagalog, we will cover or we will reach much more than what we usually have if I will use Cebuano instead. And of course, I love Cebu. I love Cebu, and I love Cebuano dialect. And in fact, if you will notice, medyo matigas na yung pagtatagalog ko, kasi nga I've been here since 2003, and yeah, and the last visit I have to Luzon is way back in um, 2016, I think, when I processed my US visa for another job in one of their territories here in Asia. But hindi yun nag-materialize, so I went back to looking for another job dito sa Cebu, and luckily uh, uh, I got hired by my employer today, which is Optum Global Solutions. Very thankful uh, for them. Despite the pandemic, so we had a good run in 2020, and And in fact, we are still hiring, and the project is doing well. So shout out to my office mates in Optum Global Solutions, especially for the motion team. I am very proud to be part of that family. So moving in today's program, I am actually planning, of course, the usual flow ng ating program is first we are going to visit the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, and then we will try to visit my trade review, my position. Let me check if I have it already so that we will have a easier access on how to explain it. So remember, yung position sa FPH and Costco, uh, as of this moment, I am down 5.95% for FPH and 5.16% sa Costco. But we will check mamaya sa chart if we need to hold or we need to exit our position. So yeah, we also had BDO as our additional investment. If you will remember, if you visited my page sa Facebook, meron akong nilagay doon na complete or mas detailed analysis kung bakit gusto kong bilhin or mag-invest sa BDO. But again, as a disclaimer, uh, this channel is not just a channel for you to blindly buy any stock dahil narinig nyo na sinabi ko na bilhin nyo yung video, bibili nyo kaagad. The trick is you need to study, you need to learn how the markets works, and you need to put all the works and on the knowledge that all you need. RAFX channel would be here to give you on guidance on how I trade. Specifically dahil technical trader tayo, mas gusto natin gamitin ng chart to at least make some money instead of putting our money in the bank. So, again, that's a disclaimer na dapat instead na bibili ka or magbebenta ka dahil narinig mo sa akin na naibenta mo or bilhin mo ang isang stock, you need to study. That's because there are time in the markets that the market will be in a chaotic mode, and you can never rely on those people in social media that you need to ask for anong gagawin ko kay BDO, anong gagawin ko kay FPH, anong gagawin ko kay Costco. So you have to have the ability to decide on your own, because the reason is it is your money, it is your hard-earned money, and it is your responsibility. So kung lumago man yan, it is because of you. Kung mawala man yan dahil nag-invest ka sa stock market, it's on you. And you know that, again, lagi kong inuulit-ulit na investing and trading in stock is very, very risky but also rewarding. Okay? So that's it. So let's start with checking the PSE. So currently, PSE is up by 0.34%. If we will check our COL broker, it's up by 22.53%, headed by dito on the actives, which is up siya ng 2.34%. And based on our chart, still kahapon, the PSA almost touched the 200 moving average na line, which is the white line, and today it is now bouncing back. Looking in our RSI, it is still down on the what you call this one, safe zone, and trying to come back. One thing I noticed also is we are having a bullish divergence in here. So let's try to plot it out. If you'll notice there, that's the RSI or the oscillator, and with the price action heading downward. So we do have a bullish divergence here. So it's a good sign that maybe we are divergence, guys, is somewhat of a change. So it is an indicator that there might be a change coming in the direction. So in this case, since the oscillator is going upward and the price action is moving downward, so meaning this is called a bullish divergence. So meaning we can possibly see that the PSA may bounce back higher. But again, that is only a probability. We don't know what will happen in the future. But using that very bookish theory, bullish divergence is a sign that the price may go back into higher numbers, into higher direction. So that's a good news. And so far, our MACD is not yet in a buying signal because the green line, which is the MACD itself, is below the signal line, which is the red line, and also the histogram is also below the zero level. So what we would like to see in the MACD is dapat yung green is mag-cross siya sa red natin, and of course the histogram should be moving up to the upside or up or above doon sa zero level natin. But I'd like to I love to see that we are having a bullish divergence today sa ating PSE, and that would be a sign that we may see a good numbers ahead for those that are trading this market, because as we all know, wala pa tayong sell support or sell transaction in the Philippines. Okay, so moving forward, so let's check out our position. We have first on the line is first on the list, meron tayong FPH. So for FPH, technically, na break niya na yung 100 moving average natin, and it may revisit the 200 moving average here, and the RSI is also falling, and yeah, this may continue. But since FPH is one of the, I think, PSA blue chip, then I will hold my position in here. So did I have a layout for FPH? Yep. So for FPH, as you can see, this is our stop loss, and okay, medyo malapit na siyang ma-reach. So since we modified our layout, I would get the value of the history is 7.44 as our stop loss, and use PSEI and revisit FPH. What I'm doing is I'd like to use the layout for this one and put the stop loss in here and color it red. Parang name lang ng banda, color it red. And then the value should be 70.44. 70.44, since it is our stop loss. And make a copy. So FPH, and it should, I was expecting that it should move this or overwrite that one. So that's it for FPH for our trade position. We are looking actually for this price target here, that one. Okay, but the let me see if we have a more short or midterm target. I think this one is a good resistance, but we will just observe it because the dynamic resistance that I am using is yung moving averages natin for monitoring the support and resistance. And if you will see, RSI is also getting into our um, sell zone or overbought area. The MACD is also on the negative or the selling pressure indication. So this might uh, not or meaning my stop loss, there's a probability that it will be hit. So I will observe before the end of the trading session today. If 90% of that candle will close red, then I will close this position because of those parameter. Okay. Next in our case is Costco. So Costco Capital. Huh? This is much better than FPH because it's trying to recover now based on the price action and based on our RSI. It's already gaining its momentum going back to this green area here. With our MACD, let's try to check if we are seeing, no, not yet, but at least there is a reason for me na magstay doon sa trade. So I will monitor this as well because maybe it's too early to decide because it's just 10:30 a.m. and the market will close at 1. So I will revisit this position at 12:30 and the final decision if kailangan ko siyang i-close or i-hold lang muna natin ang Costco. So next is BDO. Wait, I need to check if my Costco is using this one. So it's still using my old template. So I need to remove this one and then use or load the PSE template and create natin ulit yung Costco. So yeah, and then let me see. Okay, so I think the easiest way to do that is put it here. Sorry guys, medyo nag-explore pa rin tayo dito sa premium na version ng Investa. So Costco is, kunyari bibili tayo sa 90 para ma-accept siya as a trigger. So in order to do that, so we have it, and again, we will mark our stop loss in here. So ito yung pinaka stop loss natin. Yan, di ba? And our immediate target is to go back the price into that level. So again, it's not bad na mag-risk ka na ma-hit, but of course your driving guide is the indicators, the price action, which is in here, our moving averages, and then the RSI for our momentum and also for the MACD. So these are the template that I am using in trading the Philippine stock for trend following as well. Okay, so having said that, we already have that included in our alerts, and let's also have FPH para hindi na tayo mag uh, change ulit. Let's make it a 70.44 as our stop loss, and target is in here probably. Tapos ilagay natin siya sa alerts. So the reason of being is instead of getting the layout, we will just click the stock in our alerts list. So that is FPH, and kunyari bibili tayo sa price na 62.50. So 62.50. Kasi nga kung wala siyang entry price, hindi siya tatanggapin sa alerts list. So that's just it. Okay, so we have it, and okay. So what's in our next list? So ang nasa list natin is ang AREIT. AREIT is Ayala REIT. Kung mahilig ka sa dividend play, again, this is my personal opinion. I am into this for the long-term investment, and I found a buying opportunity last March 12. So medyo bumili tayo dyan sa 50 moving average, and in short, any dips or any chance na na pumunta yung price niya sa market structure, we will try to buy some for our accumulation, because we are planning to hold this in the long term. So if trader ka naman and you see this today, I would advise, my take is to wait for price to get above the 50 moving average, and then followed by the RSI should be in the stable zone, which is our green area, and also the MACD should cross into the signal line, and the histogram of the MACD dapat nasa taas siya ng zero level natin bago ka mag-trade. So in that case, for AREIT, kailangan mong mag-wait. So because we are trying to trade on the daily chart, because of course meron tayong trabaho and we don't want to monitor, to be in the market in every minute. So the same with what I'm doing sa global market, I am using the daily chart for the trend and for market structure, and use the 1 hour to set or to see our entry trigger, and then check for 4 hours para makita natin kung nasaan yung stop loss natin. That is to maximize the risk reward ratio ng pagta-trade. So that strategy works for me, and it is still working for me, and I am still trying to review my charts during the weekend and try to refine it much more. So yeah, for those of you, you need to learn, you need to back test in order for you to find what trading strategy yung mag-fit sa'yo. And again, remember that strategy of yours will be used into test kapag gumamit ka na ng real money on your trading account. And the practice that you did in your back testing and your forward testing will be your defense suit in terms of market KO. So if the result of your back testing and forward testing is around or above 60%, that is, I think, a very good number for you to use that strategy for the long term. So yeah, again, that's just my advice for those who are trying to get involved dito sa market, either sa local market yan or sa global market. But for us Filipinos, I would really suggest to try to test first into demo account, which is you have Instagram as a good playing ground and practice ground para sa pagtetest mo your strategy while you are saving, or if you do have enough capital to trade. I would not advise you to jump into trading. Again, babalik ulit tayo sa disclaimer na dapat bago ka mag-trade, you have your mindset and money management and your technical skill develop and practice before putting any real account into trading. But if you really want to feel the real emotion, at least don't jump all in. Let's say you put some 5% of that into the test and see if ano yung mararamdaman mo pag bumababa yung stock. I would say that pag tumaas yung stock is you would feel great, but you would learn the craft if the your position is in the losing side, and on that way your mindset, you will notice, makikilala mo kung paano ka mag-isip, ano yung sinasabi ng isip mo, ano yung sinasabi ano yung nararamdaman ng katawan mo, nandun siya. So that's it. I would really love to see more and more Filipinos getting involved in the market, because again, hindi lang tayo dapat umaasa sa isang income stream. I am not saying that I am very successful now, but I do really love stocks and trading and investing, because I see numbers and good benefits of doing it in the long term and in the medium term. So yeah, hopefully I will discuss and create more videos of that to share here in RAFX. So moving on, our next stock to revisit is video, or I'm sorry, Dito. So Dito is the third and most popular as of today as the third telco company dito sa Pilipinas. And if I am a trader, for now, I will still wait for the price to get back on that level, the 100 moving average level, and then RSI to get back on this zone, and the MACD to cross on the signal line, and the histogram continues rising up. So once that happen, those confirmations materialize, the next thing to do is revisit natin ang 1 hour time frame to get a entry trigger, and check our 4 hours to visit or to identify kung nasaan yung stop loss natin. So once we have that, next thing to do is, of course, you will monitor it on a day-to-day basis. That's called trade management, and decide if ano yung gagawin mo. You need to hold, you need to exit. So ganun lang kasimple yung pagti-trade. But again, trading is simple, but it is not easy. So next in our stock list to review is a piece of Oitis Power. One thing on this one is, again, this is one of my dividend play, planning to accumulate this stock as well in the long term. And if I am a trader, so obviously I will wait for the price na for medium term, so remember that I am a long to medium term trader, so my basis is the 50 moving average. So I would love to see the price na nasa taas siya ng 50 moving average, and then the RSI is heading or in this zone, at least sa safe zone or sa stable zone. And looking up today, the MACD is already giving us a good buy signal. So I will check this one tomorrow, because I think this RSI would still improve. So if that happens, I will trade this one as well, because those indicators is an indication that we may see this rise again. And yep, so let's do that. So let's figure out our target price for this. So this is of course the medium term. The short term for this is any bump into our moving averages. It may bump here, so let's try to check that out. uh, huh? Make it blue because that area there might be a significant resistance. So kung mag-reach siya doon and meron tayong position, we will consider the indicators, the MACD and the RSI, and check if we need to hold or exit. But in the long term, so we are trying to get the price up in here. Of course, if ang mangyayari is mag-break siya dito, then that's a good news that we may see a rally or a continuous price rise going up into 28.54. So I will add this one as a level AP for us to monitor this. And let's say the price would hit around 26. So for example, 26. Of course, this would be the indication that pwede ba tayo maglagay ng alarm dito sa trading view. Kasi meron siyang feature na even sa mga indicator mo, the non-in chart indicators, you can still put some alerts. For example, I would like to have an alert once the RSI hits this area here. Pwede natin gawin yun doon sa trading view. But of course, ginagamit natin dito is Instagram, and we think it's not supported, so they have a separate alerts feature here. But it's still a good one, so I am not kumbaga I'm satisfied with what Instagram is offering. So hopefully you guys as well will if you are very serious in trading and investing business, invest in the tools that you are using as well. So why it the benefits and the advantage of you of winning and taking money is way better than just using doon sa mga free tools. But of course, another reason to buy premium is to support our local entrepreneur. So we all know that Instagram is owned by a Filipino entrepreneur. So parang suporta na rin natin para doon sa ginagawa nila. And as you all know, the owner of Instagram, I forgot his name, but I'm following them in YouTube as well, is to encourage more and more Filipinos to get involved in the market. And that's what we are doing also here in RAFX. So gusto natin na mas maraming Filipino ang nagte-trade, ang nag-invest, because instead of putting all 100% savings in the bank, there are many instruments around in the country that can give you 4-5% outside of bank. So lagay mo lang doon sa bank yung pinaka-emergency fund mo, but the rest, store it somewhere or invest it and use it somewhere na tutubo siya ng medyo mataas. And huwag tayong matakot na merong risk, because risk is always there. Just like any person na lalabas, the risk of getting hit by a car is there, but we manage our risk. So that's the reason why you need to learn how to trade and invest first. So practice, and more practice. Put a small amount of money to feel the intense, the real intense or emotion of putting money, and to gauge also your risk appetite. So let's continue. The next one is DMC. So DMC is isa rin to sa tinitingnan natin as one of the dividend play. And makikita nyo na meron siyang, for now, again, for the long term, this is for dividend play. But for a trader, I will wait again for the price to get above, at least for now, in the 100 moving average, which is the purple line. And then the RSI moving up, heading to this green zone, or the stable area that I am referring to. And then the MACD should be moving up. The histogram at least go beyond it, or the histogram or the green, the MACD line, which is the green line, dapat mag-cross siya doon sa signal line natin papunta sa taas para masabi natin na momentum is building up. Okay. Pasensya na kayo guys, medyo matigas na tayong Tagalog kasi nga medyo matagal na tayong nandito sa Cebu. And shout out nga pala, sana meron din akong mga barkada dyan sa Bataan, my classmates, the Consunhi family, the Aguinaldo family, Mojica family, Binauhan, Manalo, Pega. So, kumusta kayo dyan guys? And pasensya na kayo. Medyo feeling na broadcaster tayo dito sa channel natin is to get more and more Filipino into the market, make them ano nga uli yung motto natin, trade, invest better and smarter. So yun yung motto natin dito sa RAFX. Okay, so DMC, yun yung opinion natin if we are about to trade this one. And next is house. House is for my dividend play, but of course we will also consider trading it if we are going to see any opportunity. But as of the moment, the trend is downtrend, and the two indicators, the RSI and the MACD, is not yet telling us to go in or trade this one. So meaning I need to see the price action to at least go above doon sa 50 moving average natin, which is the red line. And then yung RSI natin dapat pupunta siya dyan sa green zone, which is the stable area that I am using, or that na nire-refer natin. And then the MACD, the green line should cross that signal line, which is the red line. And then the histogram of the MACD should stay the course of moving up higher. So when we see that, and the ideal MACD, this line should be in the upper zero level. But of course, you can do the test buy if those indicators have materialized, and then complete your trading lot size, or what you call this one, number of shares, once the indicators has been confirmed. So do not forget your stop loss, because it will save you from losing a large amount of money, and it will help you as well to stay longer in this business. Okay, next after house is meron tayong MBT. So for MBT, this is one of my favorite because I was able to enter here with the notion of this will recover into this price as well, the 68 point what you call this one, 35 price, and because of their dividend play. And then for trading, if I am going to trade this, the indicators would tell me that I would need to at least wait for the price action na pumunta siya doon sa taas ng purple line, which is the 100 moving average. Again, the RSI should continue its rise and should reach in the stable area, and the MACD should cross on the signal line, and the histogram of the MACD should be moving up on the zero area or above zero area. So pag nangyari yon, we will continue to what you call this? Did I save this one? Make a copy and then MBT. MBT. The reason is I changed that color from red to blue because I use yellow or orange para sa target price natin, red for stop loss, and then blue for resistance and white for any trend lines that we are using. We also use violet for ranges or consolidation. So just to be familiar kung meron kayong makikitang different colors sa chart natin. Okay. So let's see if we already have MPT. So nice to know that that's the first time and we don't want it to have a... Okay. So now since we have FP8 in the alert, we can remove this. And also... Okay, so we don't have a RIP. So just fine. Okay, that's it. And then the next is in our broadcast is we also forgot to review what we have on the daily notes in COL. So for COL document, they have one that has a story on MWC. So let's see if what the daily note has for our top story. Okay, so top story, MWC, government finalizing details of new deal with MWC. So I remember MWC has been criticized by the government. So let's check the chart. MWC last year, yata, kaya medyo kung napapansin nyo, aside from that, I think the fall is also based on taxes that na sinisingil ng government na hindi raw nila binayaran, but I don't really know the story behind it, but I just observed that this is a long-running issue last year, and most of the investors, I think, during this time was moving out of this. But the good news is they're trying to recover because, as we all know, Manila Water is a water concessionaire and a water business, and the people will always need water. So in that user story or story alone, and combine that with technical perspective, then we will see a good trading opportunity in here. So let's get back before pre-COVID state. That's the that's the price. And then if we are going to check our other indicators, RSI is looking good. The price is now moving back, but I would love to see it getting above the 100 moving average first. And this one is in here, and the MACD crossed that red line, that is the signal line, and the histogram is continue moving to the above of that zero level. So when that happens, then we will try to trade this one as well. Okay, so meron ba siya sa list of index natin, si MWC, index 2, I don't have it, so we can try to point that. Okay, so that's it for MWC for their top story. And then in other news, MPI confirms it is in talks to invest in Discovery World Corporation. So economic cash remittances slips in January 2021. Okay, so let's go into that MWC story. Government finalizing details of new deal with MWC. Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara said that the Water Concession Agreement Review Committee has already thrashed out the major issues on the new contract. So medyo good news na to. But that a follow-up meeting is still needed on Wednesday. After that, the government shall be ready to sign a new water concession agreement with MWC. And this would be followed with a discussion with the other concessionaire, Maynilad. Okay? While Mr. Guevara did not reveal the contents of the revised agreement, he said that it is a great improvement regional agreement thus with the One Rose vision, so without making the concession less economically viable. So the recommendation from COL is to hold. They have a target price of 1850. So let's check 1850, the chart. So 1850. So that's about below. So this is the COL 1850. That's lagyan natin ng COL. COL target. Okay. As of 03. 03 ano yan? 16 2021. So yan. Lalagyan natin siya ng price, target price, and let's continue doing that here. So of course we are not going to get here today because of the indicators that are not yet complete, but maybe I would love to trade this in the coming days, so I will check my alerts and add MWC, and the price would be 16. Okay, revisit chart. Okay, so we are looking into that. So maybe we can find a trading opportunity here. So we'll see in the coming days. And i-update natin yung ating tags later on. So next in the story is MPI confirms it is in talks to invest in Discovery World. So MPI confirmed yesterday that it is in talks for a potential investment in Discovery World Corporation of the Chiu family. MPI clarified that it has yet to sign any definitive agreement pertaining to the sale. Discovery World also said that talks are still in the early stages and that it will not likely relinquish control of the company. So nasa early stages pa lang to. But for the technical perspective, let's check MPI. So MPI is also mirroring the index, and it's bouncing the 200 MA, but unlike the index, which have the bullish divergence, MPI doesn't have that divergence if we are looking sa chart niya. So if I am a trader, if I would see a trading opportunity for MPI, what I will do is check or wait for the price for RSI to go in this area, the MACD, the green line, cross that red line, which is the signal line, and the histogram going back above doon sa zero level. And of course, the price should be at least above that 100 moving average because we are a medium to long term in trader. Okay, so do we have another story? So that's the top story in COL, MWC, MPI, and yeah. So the next document that we are going to check is they have the technical guide. Again, I am not into this one because I do have my own technical strategy. So I don't usually uh, read those information because psychologically it may affect how I look into the chart. So I don't have that because again my strategy, I've tested it and it is working for me. So maybe Warren or one is of course we respect him for his experience, and I don't know the result of his, but I believe COL has a very good technical team, a technical analyst, which is I think in this case Sir Juan is, and yeah, he is a technical trader. I am a technical trader as well, but we approach the market differently. So that's why I don't usually check technical uh, um, documents or analysis from other traders. So I don't necessarily disagree with them because that works for them and this works for me. So that's the beauty of the market, because that it is more art than science. So yun lang. So let's move in with the market. We will check kung ano na yung nangyayari sa active gainers, losers, and the markets in general. So sa actives natin, nangunguna pa rin ang dito, followed by BDO, PSE, APL, PHA, Ali, ASEN, SM, MM, and MBT. So that's for the most active one. Let's check the gainers. For gainers, LRW is the first on the list. Fero, NRCP, MWC, PHA, JAS, TCB, BSC, CLI, and ABSP. So for losers, we have JOH, SLF, LSC, CPM, Ever, Euro, FDC, MED, and PA, and also ABG. Markets is DJIA, is up 0.53%. So Nasdaq is also up by 1.05%, which is a good number. S&P 500 is also up 0.65%. Hong Kong is 0.33, and Japan Nikkei is 0.14%. So on the COL announcement, we have today the dividend advisement for FEU. So let's see. The dividend advisement, please be informed that the cash dividend by Far Eastern University with record date March 3, 2021, payable on March 15, 2021, will be credited on March. Okay. So this is already the not uh, the announcement of their record date and the X date, but when would be the payment of those dividends to their investors. So I think that's it for today's PSE trading room. Did I forget anything? So again, kung meron kayong chart na gustong ipa-check sa channel natin, I would love to do that. And if you found value dito sa ginagawa natin, so I would love to see you visit and join me every 10 a.m. of the day to uh, broadcast and see how the local market is doing. We will try to analyze and check any charts from different sources and what is our opinion in terms of technical perspective, if and we will trade that, and hopefully the viewers will learn and be inspired and encouraged to test the opportunities that the stock market is offering. This is risky again, but if you put an ample amount of time na pag-aralan kung saan ka makakakita ng opportunity, then this is way better than putting your money in the bank. So that's it. Thank you again very much, and I hope to see you in my future videos as well. Goodbye.